wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, the student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district will work toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools severed their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic slowing on Pondella Road heading eastbound towards US 41. If you want to navigate around the delay, go ahead and hop on Hancock Bridge Parkway. Very nice commute if you're heading out of North Fort Myers on both bridges into downtown. Now we are slowing on Hart Road heading north of Bayshore Road, as well as a slowdown on Bayshore Road heading eastbound towards I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News. The conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
True relief for back and neck pain. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, if you're suffering with a spinal-related problem, pain, numbness, or weakness, through the use of spinal decompression therapy, we've helped hundreds and hundreds of local residents return to a pain-free, productive life. People who once suffered from stenosis, sciatica, bulging, or herniated discs and thought there was no solution are now living pain-free. Spinal decompression is relaxing and painless, while it's gently easy. No pain, no surgery. I've successfully been using spinal decompression in Southwest Florida for over 13 years, and the results are only getting better. Take your life back. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back, 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
Get the best sleep of your life. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Protecting your family is a priority. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are two of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your home and your family. But they do actually expire. The expert electricians at Mr. Sparky will test and advise or install the best unit for your home. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you suffered abuses from scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-799-5763, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-799-5763 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-799-5763. That's 800-799-5763. 800-799-5763.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Always streaming live on YouTube. There it is. I'm on the tubes. That doesn't sound, Jake. That doesn't sound very good. Can we come up with another term? I'm on the tubes. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
No, we'll work on that. Can you maybe Google something fun? I don't know. I wouldn't want to put you into too much of a position to think this early. There we go. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You can subscribe to the channel. When you do, it helps to keep us going, and it's free. Thank you for doing that. We do appreciate it. Joe Biden had an opportunity yesterday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Do you know where Pittsburgh is, Jake? Have you ever looked at a map of Pennsylvania? And
black and yellow.
So you know where black and yellow. All right, so that is a football term. Your Pittsburgh Steelers. Your favorite Pittsburgh Steeler football player of all time is?
The guy's name I can't pronounce.
The guy's name you can't pronounce.
It's really long.
Okay. Is it?
I think there's burger in it.
There's burger, right? That's all. It's the name that has a food that you enjoy. Is the one you recognized?
Yep, fried egg and cheese.
All right. That's interesting that's the one you, isn't Roethlisberger.
There it is.
Okay, so Ben Roethlisberger, I can't even say it. That's why I could never be a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers football team, is because if you can't pronounce right off the tip of your tongue the name of the quarterback for the team for the past 172 years, then it's really hard to follow. I know there are Pittsburgh Steelers fans right now that are getting very, very upset. Although I don't watch football anymore, so I don't really care.
Yeah, me either. So.
I'm out, so it doesn't even matter what you say. I couldn't even tell you what is happening this football season. I'm a New York Giants football fan, and I couldn't tell you who's playing, who's doing what. It doesn't make a difference. I'm out. I'm completely out. So, but that is interesting. That's because there were great Pittsburgh. Here's something you may like to know about Pittsburgh. Joe Biden there yesterday, blaming Donald Trump for all the violence on the planet, of course. Did you think it was going to be any other way? Joe Biden humiliated himself yesterday in a couple of different ways. First of all, he got out of the basement. That was the first mistake. That was a really risky proposition to have Joe Biden be someplace during this election cycle as opposed to riding out the clock. And he delivered in all the wrong ways for the camp and the campaign, and all the right ways for America. So once again, you can see and hear from Joe Biden and understand what's going on and where he's coming from. And we'll get to that audio on the way. But here's something for you, Jake. A little Pittsburgh trivia. Are you ready for this? There was a time when the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team was good.
Really?
Yes. I know. Yes.
I figured they were just a placeholder.
No, you see? Yes. There was a time. That's why many people go back to, the good old days. Terry Bradshaw. Does that name ring a bell?
Kind of.
Okay.
Rocky Blyer, I believe, is a name that comes to people's mind. Franco Harris is a name that comes. If I'm, these are just popping off. I may be completely off. I don't know, but yeah. And the Pittsburgh Pirates were actually good. I think they even won some championships. So there you go, a little inside Pittsburgh. But anyway, if you're thinking about the state of Pennsylvania, a swing state in play, right, as always. And Pittsburgh, from what I understand, and the people that I know something about Pittsburgh is kind of like Philadelphia is in sort of semi a way, where Philadelphia is this, and Pittsburgh, the center of the city, is this liberal bastion of just messiness. And then everything on the outside is like, hey, we're good. And there's a whole lot of red around the outskirts. It's the city centers that always seem to be the issue. So there's Joe Biden yesterday speaking out on the violence in American cities. And if you were looking for a moment where Joe Biden was going to be able to make some remarks that would be reminiscent of times earlier on, as the Wall Street Journal opinion piece talked about, this moment, that Sister Souljah moment, a la Bill Clinton's repudiation of extremist remarks on race in 1992. Were you going to get that? Nope. What we heard was largely a denunciation of Donald Trump and not of the extremists on the political left. That's what we received thanks to Joe Biden yesterday. No joke, not a joke. I don't even get a little bit of that. Not a joke at all.
Not a joke.
There you go. Thank you very much. So what did we get? Well, let's listen to some of. Now, I could start the show by, and maybe you didn't hear this, Jake. So listen carefully, and maybe you can give your opinion, maybe without words, just with verbal cues.
Sure.
I could start the show with Joe Biden, and it wouldn't be Joe if it wasn't a gaffe machine in some way, shape, or form. And of course, Joe Biden delivers.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
What the heck? What's he talking about? What? What? There it is on the teleprompter in front of his face. He's trying to talk about COVID and 100 years and, the thing. It's what he was. It's a myth. It's a myth. That's what I say. So I could have began with that, right? It's a moment where
we choose truth over facts.
We get that all the time from Joe Biden. But I won't. Wait a minute. I said I wouldn't start with that, and I started with that. So does that make me a liar? I don't care. In Pittsburgh, Mr. Biden assailed the excessive use of force by police, and then he turned to the violence of extremists and opportunists, right-wing militias, white supremacists, vigilantes who infiltrate protests carrying weapons of war. Only after that did he denounce violence in general terms. So what did he say? A little bit of Joe Biden yesterday, not really giving us anything but talking points.
The incumbent president is incapable of telling us the truth, incapable of facing the facts, and incapable of healing. He doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities.
Yeah.
Violence will not bring change.
All right, stop. So there he is going after the president of the United States. Because, it's the president's fault that this is, remember, we talked about this yesterday. What's the MO right now of Joe Biden and the Democrats? How are they going to attack the violence on the streets? They're not going to call it out for what it is. They're not going to take a moment and denounce Black Lives Matter or Antifa because these are Democrat voters out there. At least that's what they believe. But in most cases, anarchy does not care about Democrats or Republicans. They care about anarchy. So you know what it reminds me of? Here's what it is. It reminds me of when Republicans say, well, I'm going to cross the aisle and I'm going to work with Democrats and together we're going to, and as a matter of fact, when the media, I'm going to go on to all these shows with George Snuffleupagus and all these other programs, and I'm going to go on there and we're going to talk about the issues and I'm going to get along with it. And if the media pressures me, I'm going to go right along with their pressure, and I want them to love me. And they will never love you. They will never love you. If you're a Republican or a conservative or especially a Christian, they're never going to love you. It's not going to happen. But yet Republicans still get kicked, and it's like they have a kick me sign on their back and they continue to get kicked, and they look and they just laugh. It's like Back to the Future, right? Marty McFly kept getting kicked, and what did he do? He laughed. That's Republicans. That's what Republicans have been in the past. They continuously get kicked and they just laugh. I'll keep coming back. And that's what Democrats are doing right now with Antifa. They somehow think that if they acquiesce to them, if they don't speak about them directly, that somehow they're going to like them. And that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. But they continue to do it. So I don't know, did you see Joe Biden's speech yesterday? Maybe you have some thoughts. 239-479-5592. All right, a little of Joe Biden here.
The senseless violence of looting and burning and destruction of property. I want to make it absolutely clear.
Yeah.
Something very clear about all of this.
Do it.
Rioting is not protesting. Looting is not protesting. Setting fires is not protesting. None of this is protesting. It's lawlessness, plain and simple. And those who do it should be prosecuted.
Yeah, who are they? Who are the ones doing it? Speak to them. Who are the ones that are doing it? Do you see what Joe Biden did? Joe Biden did exactly what you expected him to do yesterday. He didn't call them out. He didn't call out Black Lives Matter, the movement. He didn't call out Antifa, the movement. No, he didn't do anything like that. Because there's another angle to this that the left wants you to believe.
Violence will not bring change. It'll only bring destruction. It's wrong in every way. It divides instead of unites. Destroys businesses, only hurts the working families that serve the community. It makes things worse across the board, not better. No, it's not what Dr. King or John Lewis taught. And it must end.
And why do you suppose it's if that's, isn't it obvious? I mean, maybe it's just me, but if that's not, if what's happening and what they're doing is not what they were taught by Dr. King and John Lewis, as he put it, then what is their goal? What is the aim? Why are they doing it? Is it because they don't look to the past for the answers, because they don't look at individuals for peaceful protests, because anarchy does not care about what others have said in the past, because their goal is to get it by any means necessary?
Fires are burning, and we have a president who fans the flames rather than fighting the flames. But we must not burn. We have to build. This president long ago forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. You know, he may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong, but his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
What? So it's the right-wing militias and white supremacists and vigilantes with assault weapons, often better armed than the police, often in the middle of the violence at these protests. That is something that he said, along with what you just heard. So, can't have violence in the street. Violence is wrong. Looting and burning. That's not how you protest. Oh, and by the way, it's right-wing militias and white supremacists and vigilantes and, you know, Trump followers, Trump supporters that are doing it. How outrageous. But this is how the Democrats are going to play. And why? Why do they play in that sandbox, so to speak? Well, I'll tell you why. And I'll even give you some audio to support and back up exactly what I'm talking about. And here's an example. Here's some audio from protesters in Portland. And I want you to listen to what they say. Right? And maybe this will explain a little bit, because the protesters in Portland that we are told are the peaceful protesters, these are the things that they are talking about in Portland. Here's one. Listen to this.
What's going to feed Donald Trump's reelection is, in my mind, the inaction of good people, right? If people continue to do nothing to challenge what's like his rhetoric, his violent rhetoric, which is exactly what's happening here. These people are non-violently challenging that rhetoric. I think that that's how it's going to continue.
Okay, so they believe that anytime the president speaks, it's rhetoric that has to be taken down, and that when people are there in Portland and all the unrest that's happening, which they're trying to make sound like a peaceful protest, and we all know about the deaths, the shootings, everything that is happening there, that it's justified. Because as long as the president is speaking and as long as the president's in office, then this doesn't stop. Oh, it gets better, though. Same protester. Listen to this.
That's not violent behavior. That's property destruction. Violent behavior can only be acted upon a living thing. You can do violence against another person. You can do violence against an animal. I cannot do violence against this building. I can't do violence against that street post.
Oh, and is that the audio that you will hear at all today? Justifying the property damage. There's no pushback. Here's a protester saying, you can't have violence against a building. A building's an inanimate object. You can have violence against animals or people, but a building? Property? That's not violence.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought of it that way. Okay, let's burn some buildings.
As long as that's the thinking, and that's out there, by the way, as long as that's the thinking, you think it's going to end when? And here's the sad reality, because it was Joe Biden yesterday that said, what do you say?
Does anyone believe there'll be less violence in America if Donald Trump is reelected? We need justice in America. We need safety in America.
Do you really think that if Donald Trump is elected president of the United States, that there's going to be less violence? And of course, it was Kamala Harris not too long ago.
And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
And we should not. The protests are not going to let up, which means the violence is not going to let up. And Democrats want you to believe, and I've said this time and time and time again, and I'll say it once again so you understand this. Democrats want you, not Democrats. Democrats don't want Democrats to believe what I'm about to say. Democrats want you as a Republican or a conservative to believe what I'm about to say, and it's this. The only way you are going to get rid of these protests and the violence is to see that Donald Trump is gone. And the bet, one of the bets, part of what's happening here is, in my opinion, part of it, not all of it, but part of it is you're just tired. You're tired of it. You want it to go away. And Joe Biden and the Democrats want you to believe that the way that this goes away is for you to acquiesce and say, I've had enough. I'm not going to vote for this president because I want this to go away. When the converse is probably more likely, which is that if Donald Trump is president of the United States for 4 more years, there is nothing to hold the party back. There is nothing to hold this president back. There is no political trying to lick the finger and see where the winds are blowing to decide whether or not to bring forces to bear into these cities to stop, to quell all of this from happening. 239-479-5592. Maybe you think differently. Maybe that's not the angle here. Maybe you listened to Joe Biden's speech yesterday and thought to yourself that this was a pretty serious guy here.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Maybe you think Joe Biden is as well. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and we always appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along. Traffic.
Delays in Lehigh Acres on 82 heading west towards Alabama Road from Jaguar. Also delays on Homestead Road heading southbound starting from Jaguar to 82. Very congested, guys. Go ahead and take Bell Boulevard for the faster option. Traffic's also a touch slow on Gunnery Road heading north near Lehigh Senior High School, but a very nice commute on Buckingham Road all the way to Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
What a way to welcome September. It's going to be a scorcher, 92 degrees, heat index 100 to 108, as we will see a chance for scattered rain and storms by later today. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. I love these guys. I love the company. I can tell you personally, I've used them multiple times over 7 or 8 years. A company that's been in Southwest Florida since 2001. The great staff, the way they communicate, every idea that my wife had that she wanted to do with regard to painting and contracting, boom, just like that, they were on it. So what can they handle? How about anything to do with restoration or repair? Coatings, like the coating in my garage is amazing. They do over 700 clients annually. You don't have to take my word for it. They're one of the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars, and I can see why. So you're thinking about a repaint, you're thinking about your garage floor, you're thinking about some remodeling. I'm telling you, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. So give them a call today, 239-872-2559. That's 239-872-2559. See the experience that I have had with Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, and you will say it as well. They are the best.
Today, people will wake up, and before the day is over, their life will be changed forever. Car crashes can't be predicted. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The law firm you choose to prepare you for life after today may well be the most important decision you ever make. All law firms are not the same. The insurance company knows who will take your case to trial and who won't. Visit forthepeople.com to learn more about us. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
When you're stressed, you just don't feel like yourself. New Natrol Relaxia, a full line of drug-free supplements to help you manage occasional stress and anxiety. A special blend of herbals keeps you feeling calm and balanced throughout the day. Because when there's less stress, there's more you. Try new Natrol Relaxia. Learn more at relaxiamood.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Walmart, in a bid to compete with Amazon Prime, is launching a new membership service for shoppers this month. It's called Walmart Plus, and for $98 a year or $12.95 a month, members will get same-day delivery on 160,000 items, a fuel discount at certain gas stations, and a chance to check out at Walmart stores without having to wait at a register. Some of the country's biggest airlines are making revisions to get you back in the air. American joins Delta and United to eliminate change fees as they try to boost travel demand after getting slammed by the coronavirus pandemic. Asian markets ended mixed. U.S. stock futures slightly higher in overnight trading. Yesterday, the S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average wrapped up their best August performances since 1984, 36 years ago. And crude oil futures prices higher overnight. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Souljah and Grasso, invested in you.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy. If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation, but you must file a claim by November 16, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
Visit officialbsaclaims.com or call 1-866-907-2721. Paid for by the Boy Scouts of America.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. When I came to Naples many years ago, I knew I could bring a totally different approach to building custom homes. But I had a problem. I had no contacts here in Naples, no architects knew who I was, and my competition wasn't exactly thrilled about making room for a new builder. For 2 weeks straight, I began to drive the neighborhoods that I wanted to build in. In that process, I found a man at his mailbox and I asked him if he needed any work done on his home. He told me he was glad that I showed up because he wanted to tear down this older home and build a brand new custom home. So that's how we broke into the Naples market. And today, that same drive, energy, and passion that started our company is what we continue to bring to our clients. We build top quality custom homes with passion for a fair price. Give us a call at 239-262-6867 or visit us at bigislandbuilders.com.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Listen up, men. I know you don't want to talk about ED. It's not going to go away, so stop ignoring it. Good news for all of us. Metro Men's Health makes getting the treatment you need easy, pain-free, drug-free, and affordable. While many places use pills or injections to treat ED, that's just a temporary fix and ruins that special moment. And while testosterone treatments can boost your energy, they don't fix ED. Metro Men's Health takes a different approach. They use the most state-of-the-art technologies and treatments that improves blood flow, which is really the source of the problem. There's no discomfort, and Metro Men's Health treatments don't just mask symptoms. They treat the condition. No painful shots, no hormones, no pills, just an easy and convenient treatment that actually works. If you don't see improvement, they'll give you a full refund. You've got nothing to lose and a lot to gain. Put that spark back in your life. Call 239-599-9900 to schedule a free consultation. That's 239-599-9900 or visit metromenshealth.com. Metro Men's Health.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Therese O'Shea with Wink News. Wearing a mask is a must in Lee County schools, and there are consequences if you don't wear one. If a student doesn't have a face covering, the district will provide one, but if they refuse to wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, a student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium
moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district will work toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools severed their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Delays in Lehigh Acres on 82 heading west towards Alabama Road from Jaguar. Also delays on Homestead Road heading southbound starting from Jaguar to 82. Very congested, guys. Go ahead and take Bell Boulevard for the faster option. Traffic's also a touch slow on Gunnery Road heading north near Lehigh Senior High School, but a very nice commute on Buckingham Road all the way to Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. One of the biggest fears a homeowner has about their home is that the air conditioning system will need to be replaced. Well, folks, it's going to happen someday, so prepare yourself for that day. The good news is, Kobe Cooling has a 100% NATE certified team of mechanics that actually fix air conditioners. When you call for service, our unique team will find your issue and fix it. Your air conditioner will need to be replaced someday, but that doesn't have to be today. You can still get those giant firms with cheap service call prices and get a sales technician to sell you a new unit, or you can hire a real NATE certified mechanic and we'll fix your system and help you plan for the next air conditioner purchase. Call 239-482-1542 for a real mechanic and not a salesman in disguise. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. LED color-changing pool lights can create an after-dark backyard oasis. Pick your color or select one of the light shows. You can see how dramatic it really is on our website. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why? Why pay more for a used car or truck? Free Labor Day clearance event going on now at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Free Labor Day clearance event going on now at Galliana Kia. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at sign plus tax, tag title, dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires month end.
Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steve.
Halloween candy is already on sale, but many parents are wondering how will Halloween work this year? Worried about sending your kids out trick-or-treating? Looking for a way to hand out candy while keeping socially distant? Introducing Candy Launchers. Candy Launchers keep everyone nice and safe, like our Snickers Slingshot. There's our Bubblegum Bazooka. Or the crop-dusting Skittles Sky Drone. Look, kids, it's raining Skittles. Candy launchers to keep people safe. And hey, kids, make sure you get your Candy Launchers safety goggles now. Really, make sure you get them.
Okay. I can't believe, look, it's already September. It's September. Can you believe how quick this year has? For some, it's like, yeah, please, can it go a little quicker and get this over with, with COVID and everything else. And man, and it's almost Halloween. It's right around the corner. And how are we going to do this? Are we just going to toss candy? Has anybody thought about this yet? How are we going to socially distance Halloween? What do we do? I know that's a joke, but what's that going to be like? I guess if you wear a costume, then you technically, if you're wearing a mask, then you're technically wearing a mask. See where I'm going here? And so if that's the case, then I guess you could come up to the door, but you have to be at least 6 feet away. This is really... And then do you trust the candy that's being handed out because somebody's touching it? So do you eat the candy that's been handled by people that you don't know? Wow. Have you thought about that, Jake? Jake the Millennial? Because you're one of those big... For those that don't know, Jake is the... Hey, after hours, I'm going to go out with a pillowcase and just go collect as much as I can without a costume on. And really, nobody's going to deny me candy because I'm out and I'm kind of a ute. And so they can't really say no, but they know what you're trying to do kind of guy, right?
Why are you going to throw me under the bus like that?
Because everybody knows your type when it comes to Halloween. Come on. You admit it, Jake. Why don't you? Even you in your house, which is really cool. He's got a nice house. Even your house, you're going to have kids coming to your door like that. You realize that, right?
I realize that now.
At 9, 10 o'clock at night. At 9 or 10 o'clock at night, while you're out with your pillowcase trying to get some candy, there's going to be kids coming to your door trying to get some candy. You realize that's happening. The ones that put absolutely no effort into grabbing candy. But do you trust candy from strangers now? Wasn't there a song or something like that, Candy from Strangers, or an album or a movie? What do we do now? How are we going to make sure that candy's COVID ready? I'm sorry. I know you've got a lot of other things on your mind that you have to now make everything even more complex by putting this on top of it all. It's what a year. And we're only beginning. Like, this isn't even the end. This is only the beginning because Election Day is just around the corner. Less than 60 days. That's less than 2 months to go before all of this is said and done. And woo! Yeah, it's a little crazy. All right. Before we move on with a couple of things that I did want to discuss this morning, I want to remind you that coming up at 6:50 in about 7 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, one that will be delivered by Jake the Millennial to your home, your abode. And if you would like to play, we would love to have you on board. 6:50 and 7:50, we do it every day. Have a little bit of fun. How did everybody's first day of school go? I'm looking at some of the local the news press and Naples News, and I'm looking to see some of the comments or some of what would be out there for the first day. And for example, I'm looking at the Naples Daily News. It says back to school. I look inside an atypical first day, and I see two parents hugging on their child in such a way that you couldn't look at this photo and not think that they're all distraught. Like, this is not the happiest day in this child's life. It's the worst day in everybody's life that we're going back to school. I'm not kidding. Is it just me? Am I wrong? I mean, I don't want to. Here's how the first day of school looked in Lee County. And there's the news press with a picture of a mom with a child who clearly does not look happy about going back to school. It's almost as if this is and has been and has continued to be something that has absolutely stressed out our kids and our families, even though, number one, the evidence would show that there is no super spreader situations in schools, and the science and the data, the things that liberals love to talk about and brag about, all shows that it is quite safe in schools. We know that because we actually have science and data that has shown that's the case across the globe, because schools have been open in other countries. The other countries that some people love to talk about and love to describe and say how we need to be like everybody else. And so
that is a low blow.
I didn't even say anything about you. But yeah, that how that goes. And how everybody has had options. There have been options out there. If you want to learn from home, you can do it from home. It's not the typical way to do it, but you know what? For the time being, if you feel like that's the safe bet, that's the safe bet. If you're a teacher, you didn't want to go back to the classroom, you're able to do that, that's a safe bet. You've got lots of alternatives. And I'm just wondering how it went. Somebody said you put your candy dish. I just got a text, 239-479-5592, going back to the candy. Put your candy dish on the floor. Get one of them. Wait a minute. You put the candy dish on the floor, and then you have them pick it out of the. Oh, okay. Then you pick it up with tongs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody in full PPE coming to the door, laying down dishes of candy with tongs, and promising you that they never touch the candy, and then you get to tong the candy out of the dish. Wow. I'm not trying to put anything else on your plate because you got enough there. But, yeah, okay. So for the people in my neighborhood that I talked to, first day of school, things went well. Didn't hear one single complaint. Everybody felt great about getting back to school, getting back to it. And so I was, at least in my neighborhood, I was happy to hear that. And hopefully that was the experience in your neighborhood. It would sure be nice if some of the local publications, News Press, Naples Daily News, it sure would be nice if the pictures would have been of kids smiling and families smiling and a little joy in these photos. But instead, it's, right, Jake? Jake, do that. Jake, go to news-press.com and just make sure that you can convey exactly what it is that I'm trying to tell everybody about. Do you see the picture on the homepage?
Yes, sir.
Do they look happy or depressed?
That boy looks sad.
He looks sad. Does they look nervous or excited?
It definitely doesn't look like there's any kind of excitement or enjoyment about their faces in this.
Yeah. Go to naplesnews.com. Naplesnews.com. Check out that picture there. Naplesnews.com. Do they look happy or do they look distraught?
Yeah, I really don't like these pictures.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Thank you. We have so much positive news right now that is happening out there, dispersed in between the concerns about how maybe in some ways people haven't been truthful with the COVID numbers and what we laid out yesterday, and this back and forth. I was amazed at how many people going back and forth on social media when the CDC was talking about how 6% really, when it comes to the amount of deaths in the country, almost 170 plus thousand, that out of those deaths, 6% were COVID only, and that means it's really only 9,000. But you can't say that because it's kind of twisting the words. And how do you not understand how a lot of people feel like they have not been given the truth with COVID? When we talk about and look, I'm not disparaging the deaths that have taken place across the globe. I'm not doing that. But when you talk about as of Monday, was it Monday or was it? No, it was Friday. As of Friday in the state of Florida, out of the amount of deaths in the state of Florida, 8 were under the age of 18. To make this sound as if you should be fearful of your kids going back to school is not justified. And we don't even know about the comorbidities of those children in particular. So there's a lot to look at. And again, when we hear the numbers are starting to go down, we're not hearing a whole lot about COVID lately because, and by the way, Brian Hammond, Lee County Commissioner, who has a fantastic Facebook page, Commissioner Brian Hammond, and he talks about this all the time and really studies the numbers. He's going to be on with us at 7:35 this morning, and we'll get a little deeper into those numbers and find out. But again, you're not hearing too much about the lowest numbers since May 5th. I'm looking at an August 31st states report, 5 new COVID cases in Collier, lowest since May 5th. The numbers dropping. We should be talking that up, right? There's a lot of positives. Publix is not even going to have their one-way signs on the floor anymore in the stores. Did you hear about that? Wasn't that Therese O'Shea that was talking about that? They're taking the one, the thing on the floor at Publix that nobody was following anyway. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did, because it's something you probably all witnessed as well. And we share a little commonality in life, and that's one of them. That all the things on the floor that you're supposed to, nobody follows it. Well, there's
blinkers.
There's a couple of there's a couple of rule followers, yeah, and directional signals, which oftentimes in Southwest Florida they're left on for a long period of time. Then you can fill in the blank there. That's not nice. All right, boy, that was a weird break. 239-479-5592. When we come back, Kyle Rittenhouse, his lawyer, was on Tucker last night. Kyle Rittenhouse was the 17-year-old in Kenosha. Remember, who shot 2 individuals coming at him? One with a gun, self-defense. No, you can't say self-defense. This is a radical Trump supporter who's a white supremacist. No. Well, you should hear what was said last night on Tucker. We'll play that audio and more from Joe Biden and the mess that was and is. We'll get to all of that. But right now, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And right now, let's say caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. If you'd like to play, caller number 5. Come on board. We'll play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Taking a look at my traffic cams, traffic is flowing very nicely over that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Just a lot of cars on the bridge. However, if you are in Cape Coral southbound on Skyline, it is slowing heading to Cape Coral Parkway. Also a little delay on Chiquita heading south to Cape Coral Parkway. Pretty good, though, on Pine Island Road heading east to US 41. Pondella is slowing heading west of Business 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
What a way to welcome September. It's going to be a scorcher, 92 degrees, heat index 100 to 108, as we will see a chance for scattered rain and storms by later today. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh.
Well, as the coronavirus took hold, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio had one of his bright ideas. He moved the homeless from shelters to some of the city's finest hotels to protect them from the virus. Now, what could possibly go wrong? At Midtown Manhattan hotels, drug addicts flourished. They used heroin in broad daylight. Residents were subjected to verbal abuse and threatening behavior. No cops were dispatched, and nobody from city government responded to multiple complaint calls. The homeless migrated into the fashionable Chelsea neighborhood and created their own encampment. They blocked the entrances to local businesses, which were already struggling because of the lockdown, I should say struggling. Residents became increasingly frightened to walk the streets. Once thriving New York neighborhoods have had their economy shut down by Democrats, then they had to take the homeless into their hotels with no supervision, no law enforcement to speak of, and no protection given to the residents or businesses of these neighborhoods. The problem's gotten so out of control that the idiot Democrat mayor finally says it's time to get the homeless out of the hotels and back to the streets and the shelters. But De Blasio's providing no timeline on when that'll happen. Things are so bad in New York, it almost makes you feel sorry for the people who elected these liberals. Almost, I said, almost sorry. Athletes nationwide talking about the relief they're getting from Level Select CBD sports creams and roll-ons from Cadenwood, the leader in CBD. Baseball legend Steve Garvey, with a National League record 1,207 consecutive games, uses Level Select CBD daily. He swears by it. Countless other athletes, including former quarterback Carson Palmer, PGA champion Ricky Fowler, find Level Select CBD helps keep them in the game. It works for them. It can work for you, too. Level Select CBD has a full line of products to choose from, all independently tested, made in the USA with 0% THC. Go to levelselectcbd.com. Use the promo code CBD30 for 30% off any of their CBD products. That's levelselectcbd.com and the promo code CBD30.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair, and quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
It's time to clean out your files and finally get rid of that mountain of paper. Collier County residents can bring 20 pounds of documents for free shredding. The shredding event takes place the first Saturday of every month at a recycling center near you. The next event is Saturday, September 5th. Shredding trucks will be on site from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Naples, North Collier, and Northeast Collier. Here's your chance to get rid of old confidential documents for free. For more details, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycle.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? Mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, we go to, let's go to line 2. We got John in Cape Coral. Hello there, John.
Howdy.
Howdy. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD in your associate's degree question. John starts right now. Hey, John, can you name the 2 Democrat candidates for president and vice president this year?
Can I abbreviate like Joe and the Hoe?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't get a ding for that. Oh. Go ahead.
It was Biden and Harris.
Okay, thank you. Whoa. All right, let's see if we can do a bachelor's degree on this question. Donald Trump's middle initial. Donald what? Trump.
J.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's degree. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. True or false, New Hampshire was one of our original 13 colonies.
True.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Name the island in upper New York Bay where immigrants entered the United States from 1892 until 1954.
That would be Ellis Island.
That is correct, sir. All right. Well, congratulations, John in Cape Coral. You got yourself a hard-fought PhD today. Not really, on Drew's College. So stay right there. You get to speak with Jake. He'll get you your diploma and so much more. And And you were kind of sort of right all along. It was a weird start. But all right, stay on the line there, John. Stay on the line. All right. When we come back, 7:35 next hour, we will have Brian Hammond, Commissioner Brian Hammond, get the latest locally on the COVID numbers, even across the state, and some other things that are happening with the county commission. So we'll get to that. Also, Joe Biden from last night. We'll have that coming up.
92.5 Fox News.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Clients love their salt system for silky smooth water, less maintenance, and they never buy chlorine. If you want the ultimate, we can add a BioShield for UV water disinfection. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified.
Sorry about that. Forgot to put the screen back on. Sorry about it. It's a September 1st thing. Okay. All right. Hope everybody is well. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll be right back.
$250 off coupon on our storm protection package. When it comes to home generators, when it comes to electrical service, nobody does more than us. Visit us today at powerhouseswfl.com. That's powerhouseswfl.com.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Therese O'Shea with Wink News. Wearing a mask is a must in Lee County schools, and there are consequences if you don't wear one. If a student doesn't have a face covering, the district will provide one, but if they refuse to wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, the student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district will work toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools severed their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
Taking a look at my traffic cams, traffic is flowing very nicely over that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Just a lot of cars on the bridge. However, if you are in Cape Coral southbound on Skyline, it is slowing heading to Cape Coral Parkway. Also a little delay on Chiquita heading south to Cape Coral Parkway. Pretty good though on Pine Island Road heading east to US 41. Pondella is slowing, heading west of Business 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida condo car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
True relief for back and neck pain. Sitting at home with back or neck pain, lying in a recliner suffering with leg pain or weakness, out of shape from sciatica, stenosis, or neuropathy? Get relief and get your life back. Non-surgical spinal decompression. This is Dr. Johnson, DC at 596 Back. Spinal decompression is an ingenious, innovative treatment that has shattered doctors' traditional ways of treating back or neck problems. Doctors have been left scratching their heads. Finally, avoid needles, epidurals, and drugs. This treatment is also super comfortable. Patients of any age can be treated and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. It uses a relaxing, computerized table to gently remove pressure on spinal nerves and discs, relieving pain, numbness, or weakness. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1331790.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult Scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you suffered abuses from Scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-799-5763, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-799-5763 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-799-5763. That's 800-799-5763. 800-799-5763.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. And please subscribe to the channel. Keeps us going. Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's, S-T-E-E-L-E, and then you just hit the subscribe button. It's free, and then you get an alert. You'll know when we're on the air, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We do appreciate it. Joe Biden out and about yesterday. Hey, he was delivering pizzas too, just like the president was buying pizzas. He was delivering pizzas. And how did that go? Exactly how you would expect it to go. Not well. And there's a lot of things that happened yesterday with Joe Biden's Pittsburgh speech that was not well. Maybe some even might say that Joe Biden himself is not well. Look, that's not me. We'll just let Joe Biden speak for himself, and then you be the judge of that. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. Also, Kyle Rittenhouse, he was the 17-year-old who shot 2 people there in Kenosha while he was being attacked by them. One who was carrying a gun and pointed the gun at him. His lawyer was on with Tucker Carlson last night talking about the self-defense argument and kind of laying out exactly what happened. But he did say something else that to me was the takeaway of the moment, which is the big question. Why is it that Kyle Rittenhouse is in jail? He's being, of course, he's going to go to court, and there's prison time that's being discussed, and whether or not this was self-defense. And in all of this, why is it that we don't hear anything about the person who was shot holding a gun, who pointed the gun at him? We know who he is. It wouldn't be hard to find the gentleman, unfortunately, because he was shot in the arm and everybody has seen his face and knows who he is. How come he hasn't been charged? How come people who have been burning down buildings, those that chased Kyle Rittenhouse, the individuals that have been out there rioting and looting, why are there no charges against anyone? We don't hear any charges against individuals that we know who have committed crimes. So we're going to get to that audio as well. A lot of questions to answer. Plus, Commissioner Brian Hammond's going to join us at 7:35. We'll find out more about what's been happening in the county and some of the latest COVID numbers, which you might find interesting, again, because for me, it's been a big frustration that when we have news that should be positive about what is happening with the Rona, that we don't hear it enough. We hear the doom and gloom. We hear all the deaths. We hear about the cases when they spike. We hear about the number of cases around the globe. Of course, we don't talk about the number of deaths associated with those cases, or we don't put it in any kind of perspective. It's almost as if a media is just feeding you all the negative. And when something turns around and could be a positive, it's almost like, I'm just saying, it's almost like it doesn't help their cause. And so they don't want to talk about any of that, which is disgusting if that's the case. And you should be disgusted. And I know a lot of people are. All right, Joe Biden pizzas yesterday. How did that go in Pittsburgh? He's got his supporters around him. Well, there weren't a whole lot of supporters, but there was one guy.
Hey, Joe! You finally got out of the basement! Hey, Joe, who paid for those pizzas? Thank you very much for bringing us. Hey, Joe, who paid? Somebody gave us steak! That's right, Joe! Don't jump! Don't jump! Don't jump! You're fracking now, Joe! Thank you, sir. You're fracking now!
Oh my gosh. So in case you missed it, Joe Biden's delivering pizzas, and there's a heckler out there who's yelling at him and said, "Hey, Joe, you finally got out of the basement. Hey, Joe, what about fracking? You're going to get rid of fracking?" And Joe Biden, who, you want to talk about somebody who's sensitive. For anybody who's out there who wants to make it sound as if Donald Trump, president of the United States, is a really super sensitive individual. You see the things that he tweets and how he gets all upset.
Are you kidding me? Joe Biden can't go 2 seconds without having to yell at somebody or get in somebody's face. He does it all the time. Talking about punching people. Oh, we're going to get to some of that audio. When it comes to Democrats and liberals in the media, who's really pushing the narrative that we have to get out on the streets and fight? Who are the ones that are the anarchists? Who are the ones that are calling for anarchy in this country? Well, a pretty damning video that's been put together that I will play some audio from, and then you decide. But yeah, Joe Biden, what about the fracking thing? Well, another video that's out there. You know, the Joe Biden who tells you he's not going to get rid of fracking. He's in Pittsburgh. He's going to tell everybody, don't you worry about that. You're not going to lose any jobs. Then, of course, the Al Gore famous interwebs is out there. And, oh, boy, it's amazing how things on the interwebs don't go away.
I am not banning fracking.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those, any fossil fuel. Let me say that again. I am not banning fracking, no matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
Yeah.
No new fracking. And by the way, on the Recovery Act, I was able to make sure we invested $90 billion in making sure we brought down the price of solar and wind that is lower than the price of coal. That's why not another new coal plant will be built. I did that while you were watching. Number one. Number two, we are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Well, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping...
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil.
Yeah, I guarantee you we're going to end fossil fuels. We're going to end fracking. So there's a little bit of video put together. Not sure who put the video together, but it's out there on Al Gore's famous interwebs. And you can see for yourself of Joe Biden, who yesterday says, absolutely, we're not going to get rid of fracking, until you realize that he said it almost a million times. But there's something else that Joe Biden said yesterday, which has people scratching their head and wondering about. It's not just the gaffes. Yes, Joe Biden is a gaff machine. What you get down, what you get down. Wasn't that a song? Gaff, a gaff machine. What you get down, what you get down. Anyone? Anyway, so yeah, we had the gaff machine that is Joe Biden reading off the teleprompter and trying to explain to everybody about COVID.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years. We choose truth over facts.
Can anyone decipher that? We need some kind. There has to be like a Joe Biden. What's that called? Like a deciphering device. What's the word I'm looking for? Jake the millennial. What's that word? Like a translator. That's what it is. We need a device that you can play that every time Joe Biden says something, there's some kind of like a translating device that makes some kind of it makes some kind of noise, and then we can actually figure out what it is he's saying. I'm going to invent one of those this week. I'm doing it. I'm glad you brought it up, Jake. He didn't. Anyway, so what else? Here's something that I want you to take away before we go to break. And it was Joe Biden who wants to let you know that, listen, he's no radical. Are you kidding? You think that... Just look at him. Look at Joe Biden.
You know my heart. You know my story, my family story. Ask yourself, do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? Really?
Well, if you want us to break it down, it's not about you. You don't have to be the radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters, because you're not the one that's making all the decisions. Kamala Harris and everybody else behind you will be making the decisions, and that's the difference. Where you would like us to have Joe Biden as president of the United States and somebody who recognizes law and order in the Constitution and our Constitution. I can't even say it with a straight face because he doesn't. Or maybe he does. But for the Democrats, who we're told have a real decision to make, and Jake, let's go to break right now. who have a real decision to make about whether or not this is going to be the nominee leading up to less than 2 months from now, and how there may possibly be a change. You're hearing these rumors. Really? There's no change. This is exactly who the party wants. Why? For exactly the reasons I'm telling you. Because Joe Biden may not look like a radical socialist. He may not have a soft spot for rioters. Although you're still trying to find the words that says that he doesn't, because he didn't call out BLM. He didn't call out Antifa at all as rioters. It's only the right-wing extremists and white supremacists and, the usual language that the left uses. But everybody knows Joe Biden's not going to be the president. He's just going to be a figurehead, and anybody else that's behind him that has an idea and a thought on being progressive, being liberal, being communist, socialist, whatever the case may be, Bernie Sanders, that's what will rule the day. So, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, streaming live on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Just go to Drew Steele, Radio Steele with 3 E's. Subscribe. It's free. You can watch, and we appreciate you being there. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing on Palm Beach Boulevard, east and west, heading to Buckingham Road. So if you're heading out to Riverdale High School, definitely give yourself a couple extra minutes on Palm Beach Boulevard. Also delays on Bayshore Road, heading east towards Coon Road, as well as a slowdown southbound on Business 41 to Bayshore Road. And traffic also delayed in Fort Myers on McGregor Boulevard, heading south to College Parkway. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
What a way to welcome September. It's going to be a scorcher, 92 degrees, heat index 100 to 108, as we will see a chance for scattered rain and storms by later today. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing we can try again next weekend is tough. When what you want to hear is wow. We at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
Sweetgrass Galleries is known by design industry professionals as Naples' premier source of fine silk florals, trees, and greenery. Many of Naples' most prestigious homes and commercial establishments are embellished with their true-to-nature designs. Now you can have those same finer silks at Sweetgrass Galleries' end of summer sale, going on now through September 9th in their showroom at 1719 Trade Center Way. Many items are reduced from 25 to 75%. Call 239-594-2823 or visit sweetgrassgalleries.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan France. See your future in 2020.
We know that weakened vision can limit our ability to enjoy day-to-day activities. And with the clear advantage of the Panoptix lens, seeing without glasses for distance driving, computers, and reading is now possible. This is the first and only trifocal lens that is designed to be used to help people get 20/20 distance, near, and in between. Most importantly, I've been doing cataract surgery for over 30 years. Trust me when I say this to you, experience matters. Quality outcomes matter. Reputation matters. And most importantly, I want you to know that I'm going to treat you like a member of my own family. You deserve to see your future in 2020.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line, 750. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Have a little bit of fun coming up then. Also, Commissioner Brian Hammond is going to join us in about 10 more minutes. Trump County Commissioner. And we're going to get the latest on what's happening in the county and also on COVID here in Southwest Florida, some of the numbers. He's been doing a great job on his Commissioner Brian Hammond Facebook page, following all of that. I did want to play a little bit of this audio. I want to see how much time we have. Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old in Kenosha who shot 2 individuals who, of course, we're not talking about being attacked himself. And he was on with Tucker Carlson describing why he was there in Kenosha at that moment in time.
This is 100% self-defense, Tucker. Kyle, he's a good kid. He's a lifeguard. Kenosha was burning down. Actually, when he got done with work that day, he went to the high school with some friends to try to remove some graffiti. After that, they got a call from a local business person who owns 3 businesses in downtown Kenosha. 2 of those 3 businesses had been burnt to the ground, and this business owner simply wanted to desperately protect what was left of his life's work. So
he asked them to show up there and protect his life's work. And he did, with a couple of friends, made his way there. We know how the story played out, that he was attacked by some of those protesters there, the rioters, and in self-defense shot 2 individuals, one with a gun who was pointed at him. But there was something else that they talked about after this discussion about, well, listen.
Here's my question. He shot that man in the arm and the man backed off. That man survived. That man has not been charged. He came at a 17-year-old with a gun. Why has he not been charged?
Interesting question, right? We're going to play more of the audio of the answer from Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer. But that is an interesting question, right? Again, how many people out there rioting with guns, looting, burning? Where are all the charges against them?
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Thinking about new kitchen and bathroom countertops? Rock Solid's full granite slabs starting at $499, quartz $599, remnants starting at $150 means now is the time to save at Rock Solid. Rock Solid is a worldwide importer. Certified fabricators, installers, true artisans and craftsmen. Shop direct. Don't get caught by hidden costs and delays from the big box stores. Call Rock Solid 239-596-7676. On the web, rocksolidnaples.com. Installation in about a week.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. Love my Core-Tech, love my flooring, love my carpets. I love everything about Floor Meisters, to be quite honest. And as a matter of fact, doing it for a long time. Not just that. You and Miss Sugar, Dave.
Miss Sugar and I are going to be married 50 years on September 6th. Isn't that amazing?
Tell us more about some of what you have when it comes to carpet, Dave.
We've got about 100 rolls of carpet in stock, starting at $1.99 a square foot installed carpet pad labor. As of normal, we have WPC, which is the Core-Tech and its competitors, and we have area rug for people to look at, and we do ceramic tile and wood also. I don't know how they can make it so cheap, but they do.
The quality is fantastic, and you are going to love the selection at Floor Meisters. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
92.5 Fox News.
When only the truth will do. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he's been asked to visit Kenosha, Wisconsin, and he's going today, although the governor and mayor there have said it's not a good idea, given the recent protests over a police shooting and the killing of 2 protesters last week.
It could increase love and respect for our country, and that's why I'm going, because they did a fantastic job.
He plans to look at damage from vandalism and meet with law enforcement. Joe Biden says about the president's handling of this summer's protests.
He may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong, but his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
Biden campaigning in Pittsburgh. It's primary day in Massachusetts. Democrat Ed Markey is facing a challenge for his Senate seat from Congressman Joe Kennedy III. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Therese O'Shea with Wink News. A mask is a must in Lee County schools, and there are consequences if you don't wear one. If a student doesn't have a face covering, the district will provide one, but if they refuse to wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, the student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium
moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district worked toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools heard their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing on Palm Beach Boulevard east and west heading to Buckingham Road. So if you're heading out to Riverdale High School, definitely give yourself a couple extra minutes on Palm Beach Boulevard. Also delays on Bayshore Road heading east towards Coon Road, as well as a slowdown southbound on Business 41 to Bayshore Road. And traffic also delayed in Fort Myers on McGregor Boulevard heading south to College Parkway. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Attention Florida HVAC technicians. I want you to take a look down at your uniform. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, I have some very bad news. You're working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course, we offer top wages, top benefits, and top perks. It's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring HVAC technicians.
True relief for back and neck pain. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, if you're suffering with a spinal-related problem, pain, numbness, or weakness, through the use of spinal decompression therapy, we've helped hundreds and hundreds of local residents return to a pain-free, productive life. People who once suffered from stenosis, sciatica, bulging, or herniated discs and thought there was no solution are now living pain-free. Spinal decompression is relaxing and painless, while it gently eases pressure off painful nerves and spinal.
Hey, good morning, Drew. We're talking about COVID-19 in the County Commission meeting this morning.
I've been using spinal decompression in Southwest Florida for over 13 years, and the results are only getting better. Take your life back. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back, 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
If you're far from water, you might think a flood can't happen to you. But the truth is, there are hidden risks that can leave your property vulnerable, like runoff from new development, changing weather patterns, and even wildfires. But if you have flood insurance, you have peace of mind knowing that you can recover faster. Protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov/storm to learn more. Brought to you by FEMA and its National Flood Insurance Program.
Do you suffer with knee pain that's keeping you from doing the activities that you enjoy most? Have you tried physical therapy or pain medications that didn't seem to work? You must find the underlying problem that's causing your knee pain if you ever want relief without taking endless drugs. Our experienced medical team at Optimal Health Clinic is trained to properly find the cause of your knee pain. After a thorough knee evaluation, we'll review your case further in order to develop a specific knee treatment plan customized for you. Our goal is to finally get rid of your knee pain and increase your function once and for all. We're offering a free no-obligation knee pain consultation for the first 25 callers. Call 239-317-7240. That's 239-317-7240. Imagine being able to live your life without knee pain. Call today for your pain-free tomorrow. 239-317-7240. That's 239-317-7240.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on the tube, as No Kid calls it. I keep saying that the kids call it that, but they don't. So I'm on the tube, which really sounds weird even in and of itself. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel, and you will see, I believe, who's there right now. Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond is joining us this morning on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. It's always good to hear from you and see you, sir. How are you today?
Hey, good morning. Good to see you this morning, Drew. I'm doing great.
Well, I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Thank you for a few minutes, because I got a lot of questions. First of all, may I remind everybody that Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond has a great Facebook page, Commissioner Brian Hammond, where he has been following all the updates for COVID here in Lee County, and even some measurements across the state with some things that have to do with masks and the like. And it's been very, very informative, very interesting. And so I just want to let you know that I appreciate you doing that for everybody. So give us a little bit of an update here in Trump County, what we've got going on.
Well, I love what you did there.
Yes, I did.
Trump County. Yeah. Well, by every measurement, Drew, in Lee County, the COVID-19 situation is improving and getting better. It looks like, hospitalizations are actually down 70% since the middle of July, which was our peak for COVID hospitalizations. We were at about like 335 back then. Today, we're right around 100 in the hospital with COVID-19. Our average numbers of new cases that are testing positive every single day, those have come down dramatically. At one point, we were finding almost 489 new cases on average a day. Now we're down below 90 new cases a day. In fact, yesterday, there were only 38 that tested positive and became new cases yesterday. For the entire month of August, one of the measurements that they look at is called the test positivity rate. How many tests are coming back positive compared to the total number of the tests that are taken. And that was 10%. It was actually below 10% for the entire month of August on average. So very good news. That means more than 90% of the tests on average are coming back negative. So hopefully we continue to see these trends continue, especially now that kids are back in school. And I got to tell you, it felt so good to go shopping yesterday and see those arrows removed at the Publix.
Yes, the arrows, the ones that everybody has been paying attention, said nobody ever. I mean, it's yeah. But that's an encouraging sign, though. That is one of those little things that, we kind of half joke about, but that's an encouraging sign, right? I mean, that's the point.
Man, I'll tell you, just for me personally, I went to Publix yesterday and saw that the arrows and everything, the signs were gone. Yeah. And then also took my kids to school in person, where they got to go to school in person for the first time since March. Yeah. It was a big, mentally, it was really uplifting. It was a big break, a big relief. It was a sign that maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, let me ask you this before we get into some of what's on the agenda with the county commission meeting. I wanted to ask you, because obviously with kids, you can see for yourself, what has been the mood? What were your kids thinking? What was it, the people that you talk to as you're dropping kids off, the kids off at school? Like, what has been your thought process in all of this? And, they're excited. Like, what are families talking about to you and others? What have they been saying? What's been your impression of the opening of school?
Well, my impression was a very good one. I think it was great that people had different choices to take the path that they felt the most comfortable with. I think for us, it made sense to give to take our kids back to school so that they could do the in-person learning. My daughter, who's 10 years old, said it was just so great to see kids her age. I mean, she really hadn't interacted with a lot of kids her age since March when they went on spring break and never came back. So she was really excited about it. She She said her teacher was fantastic yesterday. She said nobody had any problems with any of the new rules yesterday. All the students were very resilient. They just adapted to whatever they had to do. So that was great to hear. My 4-year-old, Jacob, was going to pre-kindergarten for the very first time. And charged right in and didn't even look back. So he had a great day.
That sounds about right. And I'll tell you a little inside Drew Steele baseball for those that don't know. I know you know, but maybe others don't know how I homeschool my son, and he went up to school to with his friends, and I think he's even going today as well. And he went to school to see his friends off for their day. He gave hugs and wished them off and to have a great day. And he was there even when they were ready to leave. He was there to see them off as well. And it was really cool to see the dynamic, of understanding what was about to happen and to be there for them and to wish them well. And so it was really cool. It was a very heartwarming moment. It was really nice. And then he comes back home, and then we hit the books, and that's a whole other story. But let's talk about the county commission meeting. We've got a lot of things that are on the agenda. Talk about some of what you're discussing there today.
Okay, sure. This morning, we've got a couple things on the agenda. Obviously, COVID-19 still one of the big things that we're trying to respond to. As a commission, what we've turned our attention to now is how do we rebuild Lee County? How do we get jobs back? How do we get people going? We have this program we created called Lee Cares. We've had business grants that we've given to businesses to get them to hopefully incentivize them to rehire employees that were laid off. We talked about grants to help parents get back to work. We did child care grants. So these are scholarships where if your kid was out of school and you weren't able to get your kid to school, but you still had to work, you could go through one of these approved United Way daycare companies and get your child the safe care that they need. But one of the things we're also turning our eyes towards this morning is the nonprofit community. So the nonprofit community has had to step up big time with the COVID-19 pandemic that we're having. They're taking on all sorts of services because we've seen record levels of unemployment. In fact, we've seen, I think, more people lose their jobs through this COVID-19 pandemic than they did through the Great Recession. And so they had to ramp up very quickly. They had to provide services to people who needed them. And so we're giving some grants out. And this is all the CARES money, the money that Donald Trump sent us. President Trump sent us this money to help respond to the COVID-19 crisis. It was $134 million, and it's really helped us out to try and make sure that the effects we're feeling here in Lee County are not as bad as they could be.
Yeah. And one of the other things that I wanted to ask you before we get going is this. I know that the talk on the agenda was about the agreement between the Cape and Lee County and the bridge toll money. And I just thought this was interesting because I had people say to me, and maybe you could even speak to this directly, the idea that they're going over the toll, they're not paying the tolls, they're going over the bridge, suspended, right? And people are like, you see, we don't need the toll money, you don't need any of this. You see, it's about time. Well, I guess there's a little more to it, and maybe you can explain the agreement and the extension and what all of this is paying for, that people that may be frustrated.
Well, the number one thing that the tolls pay for are the bridges themselves. So, excuse me. So we had to borrow money, obviously, when we built those bridges years ago. In fact, the midpoint was built in 97 is when it was completed. So we borrowed money to build those bridges. I was 17. I wasn't in on that vote, but I know a little bit about the history. Anyways, and that's what the money goes towards. We have an agreement with Cape Coral about any excess dollars above the mortgage payment, for lack of a better term, on the bridge. We use that money on projects that are specifically related to that corridor. So projects like Colonial and Summerlin, projects like widening Burnt Store Road, projects like improving Veterans in Santa Barbara. Anything that's on that same corridor that the bridge is on, that's where the excess money is going towards. And people are still paying the tolls. In fact, we've really taken up the model that the rest of the state of Florida is using with this toll by plate. So, you drive through, the camera catches your plate, and then sends you a bill in the mail.
Yeah, I know that at the time it was interesting just because when bridge tolls get suspended for whatever reason, whether it's the pandemic or whether it's the hurricane, and there's always someone who is mentioning to me, see that they're going through and they're not paying, and the whole, it's like, hold on a second. I guess there's a little more to it, and it's nice to know what is going on, and I wonder how many, if you brought it up, what will be some of the improvements that we may see in some of the congested areas, maybe around the county? Maybe you want to bring up some of those issues in some areas that you can point to.
Well, sure. Well, the first improvement that it would go towards is finishing the widening of Burnt Store Road. The other thing that we're working on putting the money towards is replacement of the older span of the Cape Coral Bridge. So, you go over the Cape Coral Bridge in the south, one of the spans is a lot older than the other. It's getting close to the end of what the engineers say is its useful life. And so as we get there, we don't want to have to borrow as much money to replace that bridge span. So we're actually creating a fund right now where we're taking some of the excess bridge toll money and putting it aside to replace that older span of the bridge. The other things we could use it on are congestion improvements at Veterans in Santa Barbara, fixing the congestion at Colonial and Summerlin, which we've been studying for years, and hopefully we can come up with something. It's a hard one because there's so many businesses involved there, and you don't want to hurt anybody inordinately. And then finally, working on the Cape Coral Bridge congestion near the College Parkway overpass and the McGregor Boulevard exchange. That gets backed up quite a bit every morning and every afternoon.
Is there, I know I'm looking at the time and we've got to run, but the area of Summerlin and Colonial that has always been an issue. I mean, is a flyover something? I know it's expensive, but man, that's always been an issue. Is that something that people have talked about? Not saying that's ideal, but it seems like, is that an option?
Yeah, sure. It's been talked about, and one of the things we're doing right now is we're looking at the study. We're looking at that intersection. The traffic engineers are coming up with multiple alternatives. Those alternatives will ultimately come back to not only the commissioners but also the Metropolitan Planning Organization. That's a group where the commissioners and the city representatives get together and talk about regional transportation projects, and it'll be thoroughly vetted. It's not going to be a quick process. And of course, once you settle on a solution, then you got to figure out how to pay for it and build it too. So it'll be a couple years off. But that is, that's clearly the intersection that all of us drive through when we're coming out of the Cape into Fort Myers, and we realize it needs to change.
Yeah. So, I know that that's something that's been discussed and working on it. So certainly that and other issues that we'll get to, we'll have you back on soon because there's a lot that's happening in the county. We appreciate a few minutes of your time. Commissioner Brian Hammond joining us, of course, Trump County Commissioner. Yeah, I did it.
Well, you go, Drew. How's that coming? How's your petition coming?
Well, we're working on it. We got a lot of people that are talking about it, a lot of buzz going on, but we have to wait until session next year before we can really put and hit the pavement running on that. But hey, never say never.
Just don't get canceled.
Okay. We got to run. All right. I'll see you soon. Okay. All the best.
See ya.
All right. There he goes. It's Trump County Commissioner. Yeah, I did it. Brian Hammond joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. All right. Is everybody ready to go? Let's do it. Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD right now. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. On the talk and text line, there you go. Number 5. Let's play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 and Alabama Road is slowing traffic northbound on Alabama, west on 82. Areas at a standstill right now heading to Gunnery. The best way to avoid this, definitely Lee Boulevard. Also, traffic slowing over that Midpoint Bridge, starting to crawl along heading into Fort Myers. The Cape Coral Bridge is still up to speed if you want the faster alternate. A little delay as well on Gladiolus in Fort Myers. This is heading west of A&W Bulb to McGregor. If you're making the commute westbound, just stick to McGregor. That's going to be your faster option. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
What a way to welcome September. It's going to be a scorcher, 92 degrees, heat index 100 to 108, as we will see a chance for scattered rain and storms by later today. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward on a network that helps keep connected devices protected. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
It's Justin with Powerhouse. With all the craziness in the world today, the last thing you want to be concerned with is your home's safety during hurricane season. Here at Powerhouse, we've empowered thousands of customers with peace of mind knowing their home is safe when Mother Nature knocks on their door. Our goal is to empower all of Southwest Florida with that same comfort. That is why we're offering a $250 off coupon on our storm protection package. When it comes to home generators, when it comes to electrical service, nobody does more than us. Visit us today at powerhouseswfl.com. That's powerhouseswfl.com.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Brandy. Brandy's in Cape Coral. Good morning, Brandy.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, Brandy, starts right now. Hey, Brandy, at what age can you legally vote in the United States? What age would that be?
18.
That is correct. All right, you got an associate's. Let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Who was the former Florida governor who ran against Donald Trump for the 2016 presidential nomination? Who was that?
Rick Scott.
No, it was actually Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush. Remember Jeb?
Oh, yes.
Yes, Jeb. That's okay. That's all right. Well, let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. When you think of the American flag and sewing together, putting together the American flag, you think of who? Who do you think of when you think of the first American flag and sewing it together and working on it? You think of?
Betsy Ross.
That is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's on that question. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. When you hear that a president used to give radio addresses and they were called fireside chats, which president gave us radio addresses called fireside chats?
Eisenhower.
No, it was FDR. FDR gave us fireside chats. That's okay. Well, you got a bachelor's degree today on Drew's College, Brandy. So congratulations to you. You're going to have a diploma that will be sent to you. Jake will make sure that gets to you, and then you can display it someplace proudly in your home. Do you have a nice spot in your house that you can display?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. Would you like to share it with us? Where's it going to go?
Oh, right on the dresser.
Right on the dresser. Okay. How about lights? Yeah, I would suggest ceiling lights that shine directly on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put one of those.
Yeah, and if you bedazzle the frame, it'll sparkle, so it'll be really.
Okay.
That's over the top. That's over. The lights are fine. The bedazzling is a little over the top. All right. Well, stay on the line, Brandy. Okay, don't go anyplace, and you get to speak with Jake, which is always a thrill a minute, or something along those lines. All right. Some of what Joe Biden said yesterday in Pittsburgh has some people perplexed, confused, maybe even Joe Biden himself a little confused as to what he said. We'll get to some of that audio coming up. Also, a little bit more about this story out of the New York Post, which I don't know if you heard about this, but Confessions of a voter fraud. I was a master at fixing mail-in ballots. What? Did you hear about this? I have to read some of this article. You may or may not believe it. It's incredible. Coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
In a salute to honoring and supporting our military heroes, the Southwest Florida Military Museum in Cape Coral is hosting a fundraiser and auction event Saturday, September 12th, starting at 1 p.m., featuring Civil War, World War I, and World War II artifacts, coins, jewelry, and much more. All donations benefit the Southwest Florida Military Museum. Live auction at the museum and online Saturday, September 12th at 1 p.m. To bid online or for more details, visit premierauctionhouse.com. That's P-R-E-M-I-E-R auctionhouse.com.
Premier AB 3459. Auctioneer Anthony Serra, AU 4752.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Therese O'Shea with Wink News. Wearing a mask is a must in Lee County schools, and there are consequences if you don't wear one. If a student doesn't have a face covering, the district will provide one, but if they refuse to wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, a student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district will work toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools severed their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 and Alabama Road is slowing traffic northbound on Alabama, west on 82. Areas at a standstill right now heading to Gunnery. The best way to avoid this, definitely Lee Boulevard. Also, traffic slowing over that Midpoint Bridge, starting to crawl along heading into Fort Myers. The Cape Coral Bridge is still up to speed if you want the faster alternate. A little delay delay as well on Gladio. Listen, Fort Myers, this is heading west of A&W Bulb to McGregor. If you're making the commute westbound, just stick to McGregor. That's going to be your faster option. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
For the past 58 years, Conditioned Air is focused on your comfort. Today more than ever, our business community, our nonprofits, our leaders, and our citizens are relying on each other for strength. It's not a me thing, a you thing, it's a we time in our lives. Conditioned Air is here for you and here for our community. Whether you're looking for routine air conditioning, service and repair for your home, installation of a new air conditioning system in a large commercial property, or anything in between, our Conditioned Air team is eager to help. You can count on the people of Conditioned Air. We are your neighbors, parents of school children, volunteers in the communities, coworkers, consumers, and supporters of all types of businesses. We want to help you when and where you need us, at your business or in your home. Your comfort is essential. Invest wisely. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962, serving all of Southwest Florida. Call 1-888-COLD-AIR or log on to conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
A non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you suffered abuses from scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-799-5763, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-799-5763 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-799-5763. That's 800-799-5763. 800-799-5763.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. We're streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Helps to keep us going on both Facebook and YouTube together. Now, listen, I can go through some of the audio of Joe Biden yesterday in Pittsburgh, and we can play a little game of, hey, guess what this guy is talking about?
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
Yeah, it's like the thingy. It's Joe Biden is a really interesting guy because half the time you have no idea what in the world he's talking about, and he's reading off a teleprompter. Imagine if that had to come off the top of his head, like in a debate. Can you imagine what it would be like to debate Joe Biden? Not a joke.
Not a joke.
It would be interesting. So we're going to play some more audio of some of the things he did say and some of the things he did not say. One of the things was discussed in a Wall Street Journal opinion piece about how Joe Biden did speak on the violence, except he missed some parts of the violence. And, he went after the excessive use of force by police, turned the violence of extremists and opportunists, right-wing militias, white supremacists, vigilantes who infiltrate protests carrying weapons of war. Wall Street Journal opinion piece talked about this, and as he was denouncing right-wing militias, white supremacists, and goes on, but he didn't say anything about Black Lives Matter, nothing about BLM, nothing about Antifa. And the question is why, especially when you consider where some of the language is coming from. Now, I don't know if you heard this piece of audio, but this was out there over the weekend. This is a BLM leader who was on the streets of D.C., and I want you to listen carefully to some of what was said. Most of it had to be bleeped out just because of the language, but listen to this. Here it is right here. It's right here. Hold on a second. Stand by.
I'm at the point where I'm ready to put these police in the grave. I'm at the point where I want to burn the White House down. I want to take it to the senators. I want to take it to the Congress. I want to take the fight to them. And at the end of the day, if they ain't going to hear us, we burn them the down. The same way I bust police in the head in New York, I bust police in the head in D.C.
The person who shot that video is Brendan Leslie, and Brendan is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Brendan, who is a conservative reporter out there who is focused on getting to the truth. He was there. First of all, Brendan, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Drew. Good. Thanks for having me on.
First of all, talk about this moment in time. When was it specifically? Where were you exactly? And what was the reaction in the crowd as this leader was saying things that were hard to believe? Describe the moment for me, first of all.
Yeah, so it was Saturday night around 9 p.m. on Black Lives Matter Plaza, which is the road that leads right up to I believe it's the south lawn of the White House, and it's right in front of that church that's now made so famous from President Trump walking out and holding the Bible in front of it. Mm-hmm. And I think the crowd was a little confused. I think that guy did his speech a little early because what happens is, during the day, the Black Lives Matter protests, from what I've seen, are largely peaceful. But as soon as the sun goes down, that's when, all the negative, crazy people like that guy come out. And 9 o'clock is still a little early, where the crowds are still kind of changing from peaceful to crazy riot mob-like mentality. So the reaction was kind of like, I can't believe this guy is saying this. But believe it or not, right after that speech happened, he ended up, a whole large crowd went nuts, and they charged at police down the road.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's the takeaway. When I heard for the first time the audio that you have up there on Twitter, and you can follow him at _Brendan Leslie, you can see this for yourself. I got the same impression that the people around him were not exactly enthused by what he was saying. He wasn't encouraging the crowd very much. They were sort of sitting around listening, and they were kind of quiet. It almost sounded confused, but don't be confused by how the rhetoric was used afterwards, because clearly he had people on his side after the fact. And that's when it started to get out of control. Now, when you were there that day, and have you been going to D.C. often? I mean, have you been around a lot of what has been happening in the overnights, and what have you witnessed personally? How bad has it been?
See, it's important to note that speaker that guy was talking on actually reached the entire block. It could be heard far away. Yeah. And there was a ton more people than just in that crowd.
Okay.
I mean, behind me from the video, there was another, few hundred people. So a lot of people could hear that speech. And no, honestly, this was the first time I've ever been to DC in my life. It's been a live dream of mine. Of course, it's under horrible circumstances, which was very unfortunate. But I've been an independent conservative reporter here in Southwest Florida for the year, and I'm kind of like a media analyst, and I really take note of what the national news does, and what the national news isn't doing is accurately portraying what is happening on our streets in big cities, mainly democratically run cities. So I got fed up with the coverage this week after the Jacob Blake shooting. Say what you want about what happened with that. I'm not going to get into that. So I just bought a ticket and I went into Kenosha, and surprise, surprise, the feds are there and things seem to be very calm there now. They kind of went in and got control. So after Kenosha, on a whim, I decided to fly down to D.C. because I heard everyone heckling them at the RNC acceptance speech for President Trump. And Friday was really rainy, so it was pretty peaceful. But Saturday is when they were really riled up trying to get people to fight. And they literally said, I don't think we heard it on that video, that if you're on the front lines today, this is in the same speech, which you can see on my Twitter or Facebook page, that you better be ready to fight cops and bust their heads or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I started following them, they started marching right after that speech, like a minute and a half after that speech. And they were looking to go fight. And then while I was walking with them, which you can also see in my live stream on Facebook, you see me abruptly end my live stream. I had 3 or 4 members come right up to me, cursing me out. It was probably the first time in my life I ever felt nervous for my safety. And then I had another dude who was all decked out in riot gear taking pictures of me. He came right up to me, he was not shy about it, and just took pictures of me all up and down my body. So I had to get out of there. But I ended up seeing videos on Twitter later that night of a lot of some sort of gas or smoke being sent out. So it was probably not the greatest of nights.
Yeah, I can't imagine, Brendan, what it's like to be there right now at night with these situations that are happening there. It almost feels like, I don't know how you even walk the streets and be able to, or how they can distinguish who's on their side and who isn't. It just feels like it's every person for themselves, and it's that kind of anarchy. I mean, how would anybody know that what you were doing there was just to film and be part of that event, as opposed to someone who is has their phone out because they want to report on the truth of what is being said and what's happening? Do you see what I'm saying? How does anyone know one from the other? There is no distinction almost. It's just anarchy.
Well, it's funny to point out that I was the only reporter there, after sundown. So I guess they're a little too scared to be out there and show what's actually happening. So no wonder why the national news has no pulse about what is going on out there. It's crazy. They single people out. You know why they singled me out? If you want to be brutally honest, I was the white guy without my fist in the air. So of course I'm going to get singled out, which is really ironic. I thought this was all supposed to be about peace, unity, and love. And I'm literally just this quiet little guy on the wings. All I'm doing is recording, just not saying anything, not instigating anything, and I still get signaled out and threatened. It's ironic. And my whole mission in this is not to attack them, the messaging per se of Black Lives Matter. Of course, everyone wants social equality, but we're never going to get there if we continue to let these people fight injustice with more injustice. And that's what I was trying to portray and show. And you know what? Now millions of people have seen what's accurately happening on our streets.
Yeah. Well, you have any plans to go anywhere else? You sticking around more nights in DC? What plans do you have, Brendan? I mean, if people want to follow you, what might they see coming up?
Yep, there's a lot in the works. I have a lot of national news work that I'm kind of negotiating and putting together, but I do believe I will be back in DC on September 17th. There's this event called the Siege of the White House, I believe it's called.
Yeah, heard about that.
So that might be nuts. And then I believe I'm going to be back on election night because if President Trump wins, I'm sure I'll get a lot of people screaming at the air and freaking out. So it should be pretty fun.
Yeah, just sort of fun, kind of. All right, Brandon. Yeah.
It's fun for me because when I watch it, I laugh.
Well, but at the same time, we want to make sure people are safe, and we're certainly concerned about the future of the country and where we're going. And when we have certain Democrat politicians who are saying things like this isn't going to end with the election after the election, like this is going to continue, we have great concerns about what that looks like, what that means, and to what degree, and how this ultimately gets stopped. And I think we know how that happens, but we need to make sure that an election takes place that will have this president there for 4 more years. It seems like the only way we're going to be sure that any of the violence is going to be stopped on the streets. But listen, Brandon, I would love for you to maybe reach out and be able to reach out to you as well. You have more things that are coming up. I'd love to let people know and direct them to certainly your Facebook page and your Twitter account at _Brendan Leslie, BRENDON, Leslie, and your Facebook page. What's your Facebook page?
You can find me at Brendan Leslie, BRENDON, uncovering SWFL.
Okay, good stuff. All right, my friend. Listen, I appreciate a few minutes. All the best, and we'll speak soon, okay?
All right, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Brandon. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 and Alabama Road is slowing traffic northbound on Alabama, west on 82. Areas at a standstill right now heading to Gunnery. The best way to avoid this, definitely Lee Boulevard. Also, traffic slowing over that Midpoint Bridge, starting to crawl along heading into Fort Myers. The Cape Coral Bridge is still up to speed if you want the faster alternate. A little delay as well on Gladiolus in Fort Myers. This is heading west of A&W Bulb to McGregor. If you're making the commute westbound, just stick to McGregor. That's going to be your faster option. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
What a way to welcome September. It's going to be a scorcher, 92 degrees, heat index 100 to 108, as we will see a chance for scattered rain and storms by later today. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day.
92.5 Fox News. Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, THRIVE, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
Hey, you confused about real estate? Sean Hannity here, and I can tell you as an active real estate investor, well, just like the stock market, it can go up one day and down the next. Home values and sales, they fluctuate on a dime. Now, even though I've bought and sold homes for years all across this great country, one thing I will always do is partner with a sharp real estate agent that truly studies local and national market trends, that knows the real value of homes, and most importantly, knows how to generate demand regardless of the market. And the good news is you have a truly amazing agent right in your backyard. I'm talking about Denny Grimes with Keller Williams Naples. He has an amazing team working for him, and he doesn't miss a single detail. Now his system is so bulletproof, well, he can create demand and sell your home at a deadline that you agree to, or he will buy it himself. Now, real estate doesn't have to be frustrating or scary. Call Denny Grimes today at 489-HOME. That's 489-HOME, or online it's 489home.com.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Heat pumps take heat out of the air and put it in your pool. They cost less to run than gas heaters, and you won't have panels on your roof. Special pricing, rebates, and free on-site evaluations. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133.
State certified CPC 057088.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Slider man, we make your patio door slide like new, Slider man. This is our mission, to put your sliding glass door back in the top condition. Slider man, we make your patio door slide like new, Slider man.
Call Slider Man toll free, 866-594-1969.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I wanted to make sure I got to this story just in case it gets a little busy. It might be something I'll bring up tomorrow, but yeah, the New York Post had an exclusive over the weekend. Confessions of a voter fraud. I was a master at fixing mail-in ballots. Hey, can I read some of this to you just in case you have friends that are like, hey, there's no such thing as voter fraud. What are you talking about? Can you give me an example? Yeah, I got an example. Here you go. A top Democratic operative says voter fraud, especially with mail-in ballots, is no myth, and he knows this because he's been doing it on a grand scale for decades. Mail ballots become the latest flashpoint in 2020 elections. President and the GOP warn of widespread manipulation of the absentee vote that'll swell with COVID polling restrictions. Many Democrats and their media allies have dismissed such concerns as unfounded. This person was interviewed, and the New York Post confirmed that the campaigns that they worked on and what they did not only changed ballots over the years himself, but led teams of fraudsters and mentors, at least 20 operatives in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, a critical swing state. Pennsylvania, everybody, hello. How did they do it? Well, they did it with a lot of different ways. Phony ballots. The ballot had no specific security features like a stamp or a watermark. So the insider would make their own. They just put them through a copy machine, and it comes out the same way. But the return envelopes are more secure than the ballot. So they would go up to individuals, house to house, convincing them that they would take care of the completed ballot for them. They would take the envelopes, steam them open, and then put the fake ones in and reseal them and send them. As a matter of fact, they would sprinkle them around to different mailboxes around the area. The only reason why the Paterson, New Jersey City Council race got busted recently was because they dumped all of the ballots in just 3 different mailboxes instead of spreading them around. If they would have spread them around, according to this person, nothing would have ever been seen. They have people all around the state of New York and New Jersey and different places that are on the inside. Postal employees in on the scam. They'll know that in certain areas of the country that there are Republicans, like 95% of the district is Republican. So guess what they do, everybody? They take the mail-in ballots and they chuck them out the truck. And then you never see them again. Or maybe you find them. In 2017, more than 500 mail-in ballots in New York City never arrived to the Board of Election races that November. Hundreds disenfranchised. They were discovered in 2018. In nursing homes, they say, listen, we'll fill it out for you, don't worry. And then they sit and they say, who do you want to vote for? Knowing full well that when they give the answers, they put in what they want. Please don't tell us that it doesn't happen. You go in person. This is why Democrats do not want you to go in person, because when you don't go and you go by mail, they got lots of different ways to fix it.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. When I came to Naples many years ago, I knew I could bring a totally different approach to building custom homes. But I had a problem. I had no contacts here in Naples, no architects knew who I was, and my competition wasn't exactly thrilled about making room for a new builder. For 2 weeks straight, I began to drive the neighborhoods that I wanted to build in. In that process, I found a man at his mailbox and I asked him if he needed any work done on his home. He told me he was glad that I showed up because he wanted to tear down this older home and build a brand new custom home. So that's how we broke into the Naples market. And today, that same drive, energy, and passion that started our company is what we continue to bring to our clients. We build top quality custom homes with passion for a fair price. Give us a call at 239-262-6867 or visit us at bigislandbuilders.com.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, my shower door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myshowerdor.com.
Southwest Florida is our home, and there's a lot to love. Our community gatherings, our sporting events, our quality health care and education, and our natural resources, just to name a few. It's why we call Southwest Florida our home, and it's why we love living here. As residents of Southwest Florida, we're strong, compassionate, and capable. Let's protect what and who we love by following CDC guidelines. Together, we can protect our home and each other. For more information about CDC guidelines, visit legov.com/COVID-19.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Sweetgrass Galleries is known by design industry professionals as Naples' premier source of fine silk florals, trees, and greenery. Many of Naples' most prestigious homes and commercial establishments are embellished with their true-to-nature designs. Now you can have those same finer silks at Sweetgrass Galleries' end of summer sale, going on now through September 9th in their showroom at 1719 Trade Center Way. Many items are reduced from 25 to 75%. Call 239-594-2823 or visit sweetgrassgalleries.com.
I'm Chris Foster. President Trump, ahead of today's trip to Kenosha, Wisconsin, is defending a 17-year-old supporter accused of murdering 2 protesters there last week.
I guess he was in very big trouble. He probably would have been killed.
Joe Biden says President Trump is part of the problem, not the solution.
Biden told supporters in Pittsburgh, we can do better and we have to do better.
The current president wants you to live in fear. He advertises himself as a figure of order. He isn't.
Biden accused the president of rooting for chaos and violence in U.S. cities, saying he failed to protect America, so now he's trying to scare America.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Schools closed by the coronavirus pandemic and then summer break reopened today in France and Belgium, with masks required for teachers and older children. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Therese O'Shea with Wink News. Wearing a mask is a must in Lee County schools, and there are consequences if you don't wear one. If a student doesn't have a face covering, the district will provide one, but if they refuse to wear it, the student will be isolated and parents will be contacted. If it becomes a repeated offense, the student will be enrolled in a virtual learning program. No more one-way aisles on your next trip to Publix. The grocery store chain says no stores in our area are under local ordinances to keep the measure. Publix used to have arrows on the floor to remind people to social distance, but they've been removed. There will still be other reminders in the stores. Masks are still required. A new food distribution site opens up today to help feed families. St. Matthew's House will give out food at Fairway Bible Church off Collier Boulevard in East Collier County. That's from 9 a.m. to noon. That'll replace its Golden Gate High School location. Today, help is on the way to make ends meet. Fort Myers will open up the application portal to apply for coronavirus relief funds. That money can be used for rent and utilities. Applications open today at 8 a.m. Helping those in jeopardy now. There is more time to avoid foreclosure and eviction. The governor just extended a moratorium on evictions that was set to expire last night. It does not cover tenants with an expiring lease or non-payment for any other reason than COVID-19 complications, and it applies to only residential tenants, not commercial evictions. The deadline lasts until October 1st. Just hours from now, the school district will work toward a settlement with one Southwest Florida business. You might remember the Lee County School District cut ties with Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farms after a Facebook post. Oaks wrote the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter movement are both hoaxes. After Lee schools severed their contract, Oaks sued. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 and Alabama Road is slowing traffic northbound on Alabama, west on 82. Areas at a standstill right now heading to Gunnery. The best way to avoid this, definitely Lee Boulevard. Also, traffic slowing over that Midpoint Bridge, starting to crawl along heading into Fort Myers. The Cape Coral Bridge is still up to speed if you want the faster alternate. A little delay as well on Gladiolus in Fort Myers. This is heading west of A&W Bulb to McGregor. If you're making the commute westbound, just stick to McGregor. That's going to be your faster option. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Temps in the 90s with our heat index over 100. Stay cool if you're going to be out and about for today. We are going to be developing some scattered showers and storms, hit or miss, by this afternoon and this evening. As we highlight the rest of the work week, if anything, it gets even hotter. Mid-90s by Friday. A few spotty rain and storms with actually some Saharan dust aloft. And then by the big holiday weekend, the big three, heat, humidity, and more chances for rain scattered across our area. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's sports page. These are stressful times. There's turmoil all around us, from our personal concerns about health, family, and finances to our feelings about those who trash this great country, its traditions, its protectors, and its flag. I want to scream and make my voice heard, but instead I'm part of the silent majority, those who are dependable, caring, fair-minded, fiercely patriotic, and who every day help to make America great. Stevie honors the silent majority every day by serving our award-winning food and beverages. Relieve today's stress during our happy hour with a great meal. Choose fall-at-the-bone ribs or the best burgers in town, great pizza and more. Most of all, sit down, relax, eat, and drink with others of the silent majority. Stevie honors this great country, its traditions, and the sacrifices made by all those before us and today. Our servicemen, our policemen, our firemen, and doctors, nurses, homemakers, and all others of the silent majority. God bless you, and God bless America, and most importantly, vote. Stevie Tomatoes, Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube right now at Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. You just type that into the search bar there in YouTube. And please subscribe. It's free. It helps to keep us going each and every day on YouTube and Facebook. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
You know, this is a 17-year-old boy who got up. You mentioned this yesterday, I believe, on air. Who got up, woke up in his home state of Illinois, drove across state lines armed with a rifle to go and shoot people.
MSNBC this morning, and I'm not sure who the guest was on MSNBC because, only 7 people watch and really doesn't make a difference. Well, it kind of makes a difference because you really want to know who puts that kind of stuff out there. Talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, who was attacked in Kenosha when he was going there to protect and asked to protect certain businesses, and even went with a first aid kit. They're told he's a domestic terrorist who came to Kenosha with the intent to shoot people. Well, if he came with the intent to shoot people, I'm just putting this out there, as the Twitter cowboys are out there, and also those that are asked to be on places like MSNBC. Why is it that the only people that he decided to shoot were people that were attacking him and he was doing it in self-defense? That's part of the question, right? Or no, that's too far outside the narrative. We can't ask that question, can we?
Number 4.
That's not violent behavior. That's property destruction. Violent behavior can only be acted upon a living thing. You can do violence against another person. You can do violence against an animal. I cannot do violence against this building. I can't do violence against that street post.
Yeah, you heard that correct. That was a protester in Portland, and there was a gathering there. Of course, you have law enforcement going in there, moving in, and the rioters that are being stopped. And there's one protester who decided to speak with a news organization and say, "What? Burning buildings? No, that's not, property destruction is not violent behavior. No, that can only be against a living thing, like a bird, a tree, an aborted child. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. No, put that one aside. No, the violence can only be against living things. You can't do violence against a building or a street post. So they feel like that's fine. Nothing to see here. We'll continue to burn and loot and destroy buildings. Oh, and by the way, I'm just asking, sometimes there are people in those buildings. They live in those buildings. Does that matter?
Number 3.
Here's my question. He shot that man in the arm and the man backed off. That man survived. That man has not been charged. He came at a 17-year-old with a gun. Why has he not been charged?
So here's a question that I have, Tucker. Where are the charges for aggravated assault against Kyle Rittenhouse? Where are the charges for arson in our cities? Where are the charges for rioting? Where are the charges for crossing state lines? And where are the charges against the people who are funding this activity and who are financing it? And why is Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old lifeguard who is attempting to protect the businesses in his community and attempting to help wounded protesters and was protecting his own life while Kenosha was burning, why is he the one sitting in jail tonight as forces within this country sickeningly attempt to find a way to bring harm to him while he's in detention.
That was last night on Tucker Carlson's program. That is the lawyer for Kyle Rittenhouse asking a very legitimate question along with Tucker Carlson. Why is it that those that went to attack Kyle Rittenhouse, burning, looting, and oh, by the way, the person that was shot in the arm had a gun in his hand and who was pointing the gun at Kyle Rittenhouse, why are they not in jail? You know the person's face. Everybody knows who the person is. It's all over the interwebs, Al Gore's interwebs. Why is it that there are certain individuals that are not in jail themselves? An interesting question to ask.
Number 2.
I am not banning fracking.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those, any fossil fuel.
Let me say that again. I am not banning fracking.
Okay. Just a portion of video that is out there. Joe Biden yesterday saying he's not going to ban fracking. Donald Trump is a liar, until you find out that there is a ton of audio on Al Gore's interwebs that would suggest otherwise. Joe Biden is saying time and time again that he's going to eliminate fracking and fossil fuels. And why do you keep lying like that?
Number 1.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
That makes perfect sense.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
A little bit of Joe Biden from last night. Oh, look, we can all laugh and mock and say things like, how could the Democrat Party honestly believe that this should be the next president of the United States with a straight face? I mean, we can continue to talk about that, but Democrats did it, and they're doing it. And the answer is they can do it because they know that Joe Biden is not going to be the president of the United States. They know that Joe Biden is not going to be the person making policy decisions. They know who is going to be making the decisions, and so do you. Everybody knows it. It's just Kamala Harris in waiting. That's who's going to be the president of the United States if Joe Biden is elected through some kind of fraud. I mean, through a properly held election here in the United States. Again, I know that there may be some people who take offense or question that a top Democratic operative says that voter fraud, especially mail-in ballots, is not a myth, and it's somebody who has done this on numerous occasions. The New York Post confirmed this, but there are people that, it's not a reliable source. Really? Not a reliable source. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, all the things that they're describing and how they rigged elections in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We'll just dismiss this because, Donald Trump says that there's mail-in voter fraud that's getting ready to happen, and he's concerned about it and the integrity of the election. So just because Donald Trump says that, automatically anything and everything that could possibly be out there, the evidence that is overwhelming that mail-in voter fraud happens in places like New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and documented evidence. Just throw that out. Nonsense. Joe Biden yesterday saying a couple of very interesting things that you take away, and certainly throughout the day today, you're going to hear a lot about what Joe Biden said in Pittsburgh in depth. But I just want to pick out a couple of individual statements that Joe Biden made. Obviously, one was the lie about fracking. One was the fact that it's interesting how now the former vice president talks about, the concerns that he has over rioting, but really it wasn't about BLM or Antifa. No, it's about, right-wing militias, white supremacists, vigilantes who infiltrate protests carrying weapons of war. So it's really about Trump supporters, is what he's saying.
Fires are burning, and we have a president who fans the flames rather than fighting the flames. But we must not burn. We have to build. This president, long ago, forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. He may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong. But his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
There you go. A little bit of Joe Biden blaming his supporters. They're the ones that are going out that are looting and rioting and destroying. Only those who have the deepest of Trump derangement syndrome think that that's true. We know Black Lives Matter, the movement, is on the streets in these major metropolitan cities, and we know just by hearing their own voices about how they are Marxists and just by going to their website to read about what they are about, we know what their mission is. Just by hearing, like we had Brendan Leslie on just a little while ago, who we played that audio of the BLM leader that it's hard to even understand what he's saying because there's so many bleeps, but safe to say that what he was calling for was going after police, literally, and going after police on the streets of this country and talking about killing and talking about destroying, and that's their words. So I'm trying to figure out where the nuance is. Antifa, trying to figure out where the nuance is there, unless of course you're trying to make it sound like a myth because you don't want to admit what's happening because you want people in this country to believe that it's the right that is causing all the problems on our street. And I wonder how many people have caught on to the game now and just really question some of what the former vice president said. And I want to focus on this as well, because yesterday he said,
does anyone believe there'll be less violence in America if Donald Trump is reelected?
Don't you think that's a pretty powerful statement? Especially when you consider that Kamala Harris just weeks ago said...
And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
Talking about the protesters. Like, it's not going to go away. And almost as if you have Joe Biden saying, listen, if you really want it to go away, you got to get rid of Donald Trump. That's how this all goes away. Aren't you tired? Aren't you exhausted yet with Donald Trump? Aren't you just tired of all of this? It'll all go away. Take the blue pill. It'll all go away, I promise. It's almost like what he's saying. But Kamala Harris says it's not going to go away. The president of the United States needs to be reelected so that we know the next term will be one that will usher in law and order. That there will be no politics. It will be straight up to stop what is happening on certain Democrat-led city streets. And to understand that in order to get back to where we were pre-pandemic, we're going to need this president more than ever. And we're going to need to be able to identify who those individuals are that are speaking about violence on the streets. We're supposed to believe that Joe Biden is talking about the right wing and white supremacists, and these are the individuals that have taken over our streets in Democrat-led cities, and they're the ones that are taking up arms, and they're the ones that are stoking all of the anger and violence. It's the president that's been stoking. You heard it. He's been fomenting anger and violence in this country since the day he came down the golden escalator, right? So I wonder how Democrats feel when they hear, for example, this montage of audio of Democrats that is out there on Al Gore's famous interwebs. I wonder what they think and feel when they hear this.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there. I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
You tell me. You tell me. That's pretty powerful audio. When you can see the video, it's out there. And I'm confident that you know it. I'm not confident that Democrats, listen, I know that there are some people that say, oh, look, Drew, it's not fair. It's not every Democrat. Well, if it's not every Democrat, and you are a Democrat who hears that and is disgusted by that, then why are you voting for policies that would, and people that would like to have that all in place? Why don't you push back against those individuals? Well, you don't have an answer. It's either you're with them or you're not. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We are always streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Here we are on YouTube. Just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and please subscribe while you're there. That helps to keep us going, and we do appreciate it. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along, and let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.